No one would actually, I don't think anyone would physically assault you, but what they'd do, they'd be charging their car over here, right? And they'd see you, and they'd be unplugging, and they'd be like, see you. And then as they drove off, they'd be like, oi, MacMaster, you bought the wrong car, and you don't plan your journey, and you need to charge at home on an octopus tariff between 2 and 3 in the morning. You Are you plugged in?
I'm plugged in.
Hey!
Do you know what, Geoff?
Go on.
I've just shown all the evangelists all these chargers.
Yeah.
And shares in Kleenex have gone up.
Well, they get excited about all this stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Is anyone charging here today?
There's a few people in the parking spaces, but they've all got exhausts on them.
Yeah. I did a loop round here the other day. After we discovered this place, I then did another loop around the once, and there wasn't one car charging in here. And then a lot of people in the comments are like, well, if you build it, they will come. Well, they've built it and no one's come, apart from the evangelists.
Oh, I dare you to park. Oh, sorry, he's coming by. Here we go. He's parking in an electric charging point. You're parking in an electric Are you leaving it like that? Are you leaving it like that?
Yeah, that'll be all right, won't it? I mean, I'm only taking up how many? If I move it, I might be able to block 3. That's only blocking 2.
You're icing people.
Is that what it's called?
You've been, yeah. If you go back, let me come back in the picture.
Yeah.
If you go in the picture, I'll tell you what, 1 second. Look at that, hat change.
Hat change.
Oh, wow.
That's my favourite cap, but I've spilt coffee all over it.
You have?
Yeah.
Right, I've got questions for you.
Questions.
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 Do you know how much that is, by the way?
What?
I think it's about 75p a bloody kilowatt.
Do you know what? I was having this conversation with, is it 75p?
Something like that, yeah, I think so, yeah.
I was having this conversation with Rich from Challenger Road, and he was saying that his Taycan, he's putting in 72 quid to 210 miles. That's worse than this. This is a Volvo 850 T5, so it's a turbo automatic, and it's cheaper to run this car than it is a new electric car. All the people in the comments are like,
I think you'll find.
I think you'll find it's not a very efficient EV he's got. He's actually chosen the worst EV on miles per kilo. Whatever.
Yeah. Do you know what though?
Go on.
We're hitting where it hurts.
Apparently we are.
Yeah.
This is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Are you watching, Q? Hey, are you watching? He's watching.
Quentin Wilson.
Oh, you've said his name.
Sorry, I gave.
As if they didn't already know. I like him as well.
I know, I do.
You upset me. I like him.
I've met him a number of times.
You met him?
I've met him
I haven't met him.
Times.
Meet me. Come and meet me. I like him.
See, people sometimes realise that before I used to wear the Geoff Buys Cars hat, I was quite involved in the classic car industry, so I do know quite a lot of stuff about quite a lot of stuff.
If I said to you, he's actually more informative than Jeremy Clarkson, would you agree?
Oh, 100%. He was actually the better in terms of the segments that he did, but Clarkson was more watchable. But Quentin Wilson's stuff on classic car values has always traditionally been received as being quite good. But the problem is now you can't talk about classic car values and talk about EVs, because the EV thing is about getting people out of your car.
Yeah.
So if you're being moved out your car, then there's no classic car industry, because you won't be allowed to own a car, because that's where the EV thing is going. So the fact that if he is allegedly being paid by the EV industry, well then he's being paid to undo the thing that he's built a career on. I don't understand.
We say allegedly, by the way. We can't back that up.
No, allegedly.
No, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Might not be
paid quite handsomely by Tesla, but allegedly, that's what I'm told. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
We're
not saying that.
The word on the street, the gossip around the water cooler charging point. Shouldn't mix water and electric, that should you really? Which is funny, because where we are here, it's been closed recently because the river flooded.
Oh, right.
You couldn't get up to charge your EV because the water was so high.
Oh, right. Do you know what I'd like?
What?
I'd like Mr. Wilson to actually sit down and just tell us, face to face, right? And he could edit it. He could have the final edit. We could do it on his channel. You know, just tell us what we do, what we're doing wrong.
What we're doing wrong?
Well, what I'm doing wrong in my electric car, and why I'm wrong, and why you're wrong.
You bought the wrong one, and you don't plan your journey.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all it is.
What about when it errored earlier on, and I'd already gone for a coffee?
That's difficult as well, because now that I also do YouTube videos with Richard, who also has a Taycan, he corroborates everything that you say. Whereas when he bought that Taycan, a lot of people were like, oh, now he's going to show the MacMaster how to do it. But actually, he's now making videos very similar to you, and he's also finding that those videos are quite successful. But he's not going out deliberately to find the worst chargers like what everybody accuses you of doing.
You see what I did earlier on? I mean, I'll let you into a secret, right? You know when the charger errored?
Yeah.
Right, it didn't really error.
Did it not?
No, what happened was I got the guy from Grid Server was there fixing that other one, and I said,
yeah.
can you go into the software for me and make it look, sarcasm alert by the way, make it look like it's errored for me so I can make Grid Server and electric cars look bad.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Got you.
And the guy who was a Grid Server engineer, he was an actor.
Right, yeah, of course. And BP put you up to this. BP said, would you mind, while you're out and about, if you have a word with the technician, get him to make it error, and then we all look great.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we were being paid by the oil industry
and Smurfs,
but a lot of the charging points now are owned. I went past one the other day. In fact, at Waitrose in Worcester, they've removed all the chargers, and I went, ha! They've removed the chargers. They've put them all back in, but it's all Shell. So they're all Shell recharge, I think they're called.
But do you know what concerns me more there?
Go on.
That you shop at Waitrose.
Oh, it's my wife. We've had this conversation before.
Waitrose?
I know.
I'm at Aldi. I've got a Porsche and I'm shopping at
Well, it's because you have to pay for your charging.
If you buy an electric car, you can't afford to shop at Waitrose. Before we just leave you here for a minute, right, because we'll wind this up later, this bit, with how much it's cost me, if it tells you, right, I went past a Polestar 2 on the motorway, on the back of a transporter with a crashed back.
Did you?
Yeah, and on it a yellow warning symbol, warning, alert, danger of death, electrical shock.
I had the same thing the other day. I saw a Volkswagen ID3, and that was on the back of a truck, and that was knackered. All the airbags were gone off, everything. And yeah, big warning stickers like, do not touch this vehicle, don't come within 10 feet of it, you're going to get electrocuted. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But I got sent yesterday, there was a Renault Zoe that went up in smoke. Someone emailed that to me. That didn't make the news. And there's another one.
I heard about that one.
The Renault Zoe?
Yeah, it was the diesel car that was parked next to it that actually set on fire.
Right,
and then the Zoe.
Well,
yeah.
It's funny you should say that, because I've not yet made the video about this.
I hope this is recorded. 1 second. Yes, it is. We're back. That's professional, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how professional we are.
Yeah.
There was a fire on a camping and caravanning site in Wales that someone sent to me. And when it made the news, it was, there was a fire at a caravan and then it spread to some cars. But someone emailed me and said, yeah, but the first report said it started it with the electric car and then it spread to the caravan. But then when it hit the news, it was the caravan that burnt. But according to the eyewitnesses, it was the electric car. So the news are just suppressing all of this now, which is quite funny. So you're not allowed to talk about EVs.
Can I ask you my question anyway?
Go on then.
60% allegedly of electric car sales now are from the Chinese market.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at
worldwide, or
the sales of electric cars, do you know what? You'll have to look that bit up. I read it this morning.
Yeah.
The highest percentage of allegedly, you always have to say that, don't you?
Yeah, just cover your back.
Just cover your back.
Yeah.
Are from China.
China.
So
don't we,
is that, should we be worried because a lot of people wouldn't buy Huawei phones because they're like, oh, China's listening to you.
Yeah.
And then even though China make all the components for your iPhone as well.
Yeah.
And then also the Chinese, what else was there? There was the Chinese phones. Oh, TikTok, because it's from China.
Yeah, that's
banned that as well. Yeah. So if they're making electric cars, doesn't that leave us wide open for them to basically shut us down? Because if there was a war again, right?
Yeah.
Don't mention the war.
Don't mention the war.
Don't mention the war. I mentioned it, but I got away with it. Then it could be a different way of having a war by just shutting all the cars down.
Well, absolutely, and this has confused me for some time now, since I saw a newspaper headline, front page, saying MPs say we should now class China as the enemy, and then you turn over and it's like latest deals on electric cars. Obviously, you know, a lot of the componentry and everything is made in China. So on the one hand, we're condemning them, saying we're at war with you, you're bad, we don't want to support what you're doing. On the other hand, we're saying, but we will buy all of your electric cars that you're and then I saw one this morning in Waitrose car park. I wasn't shopping, I was just parking there.
Waitrose again?
I was only parking there because I went to get an haircut.
Right, okay.
Only the one haircut, you see.
And haircut.
And I saw in the car park a BYD electric SUV, and I was like, blimmin' heck, people are actually buying these things.
Burn your driveway.
Burn your driveway.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, they have a horrendous reputation in China.
They're terrible.
But who's buying one of them in England right now? I don't understand it.
Well, I don't know. It's just odd, isn't it? I mean,
Very strange.
I just think we're heading where the government's. It's funny because I met a guy this morning up in Bowness.
Yeah.
It was Bowness. It was supposed to be Windermere, but I couldn't be bothered to go all that way. It's Bowness on Windermere.
Yeah, Windermere's a long way.
Yeah, Windermere to Worcester.
Yeah.
But the guy, Patrick, who I met, who watched the channel,
Yeah.
he said he'd had a car, and he said, "Do you think that the governments have gone all in electric so that they could like have more control over the Arabs that are doing, supplying the oil for the cars?" And I said, "That's no idea. But if they have, now they're withholding to China now because they're going to be all their electric cars." What I read was that they're going to have to put lots of sort of like taxes on top of them to bring them in, which is going to take the prices of them up.
Yeah, it's just a mess. Like every direction you look at the moment, the electric car thing is. I mean, they're not selling.
Wait a minute. Electric car sales
Yeah.
have gone up.
Have they?
Percentage, right? But I've read about this.
Yeah.
Right? Because you'd got Mr. Wilson saying that they'd gone up. Allegedly, again, I read this, I can't verify this information, so you tell me in the comment section down below, or the cars are available, or the whatever, right? Car sales in general have gone up,
Yeah.
right? So since the pandemic, they've gone up. People are buying cars again. So what they're doing is they're basing it on a percentage. So petrol car sales have gone up.
Yeah.
Electric car sales have gone up. So compared to last year, yes, electric car sales have gone up, but the percentage of people buying them, it's marketing, you see, it's clever marketing. There's actually less people because petrol's gone further up, where electric's gone up. Oh, I think you'll find electric car sales have gone up. Yes, they have, but compared to petrol, no, they haven't, allegedly.
The people that are saying that electric car sales are booming cannot be reasoned with. They really can't. And there's a chap that you all ought to follow on Twitter called Barry Crampton, and Barry is a car dealer and he tells it like it is, and he's exposing all of these stats and all these tricks that are going on Auto Trader and the depreciation as well. I mean, there's two he's shared recently, shared this morning. What he's saying is there's a lot of EVs for sale on Auto Trader, but only a tiny percentage of them are being sold by private sellers. So that means they're all ex-fleet vehicles, which means they were all bought by businesses in the first place. So in the private car buying market, the EV thing is just absolutely dead in the water, even though fleets are still buying them, and fleets are only buying them because the government are incentivizing them to buy them. So remove the incentives and the whole thing will fall flat on its face.
So basically, electric cars, after today as well, and you've seen, just crap, really.
Well, they work for a very small section.
You've never said, I've tried to ask him. You never say. I go, so I'm trying to get him to say, don't buy an electric car, but you don't say that.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I don't not believe in electric cars. What I believe in is fairness. I believe they should be able to compete. 3 cars on a forecourt, and petrol, and diesel, and electric car, and they should all compete on their merits alone. But what's happening is people are basically being bribed into the electric car. So the electric car has all these hidden financial advantages, where if it actually came down to the brass tacks of how much they cost to run and what the residual values are, no one in their right mind would choose the electric car. But businesses are buying them because they're being incentivized to do so.
What do you think to hybrids?
Don't mind hybrids. I'm not bothered about the plug-in ones, but if it's one of them regenerative ones, then that makes sense. But again, with a hybrid, is it really worth... Like I hired a Fiat Panda hybrid when I was in Spain, and so I joked in my video saying I don't know what the hybrid bit is for in the Fiat Panda, and someone posted a hilarious comment that says the hybrid bit gives you more power so that you can lug around the weight of the battery. I was like, well, that's
to take the battery out.
Yeah. So they can go, oh look, it's a hybrid. We'll take the battery. There's no benefit to it whatsoever.
I'm going to tell you this. I told you this on the video yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, right? The day before yesterday, right? A friend of mine, nearly said who it was then, right? Works as a chauffeur in London.
Yeah.
Chauffeurs around very famous people, and he has, I think it's an Audi A8, right? He's been told that he has to have a car. He had a diesel before, got loads to the gallon, loads of suitcases in it. He's been told that he has to have a car that is capable of zero emissions, right? Otherwise he can't be licensed under the whatever it is, right? So he's now got a hybrid which isn't self-charging. He has to plug in. He can't plug in on a fast charger.
Yeah.
He can't plug in at his place where he lives because he lives in a flat, right? So he doesn't use the battery part of it. He doesn't charge it. And he said, so what I'm doing now is I've got less space in the boot because I've got a battery that is taking around. My car's making a right noise.
Is that your car?
Yeah, it's the fan.
I thought it was another car. I thought it was a diesel idling.
No, it's the fan.
That's what you've got booked in to get done, haven't you?
Yeah, that's worrying. And he's actually now doing that, and he says he gets less miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
He says, but he's doing his bit for the environment, so now it's actually less economically friendly.
Yeah.
Because he's now lugging around. It's like,
wouldn't it be just fantastic if it just caught fire behind us right now?
It'd be the car next to me.
Oh, it would, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would just vindicate everything we.
They wouldn't be able to hide that, though, would they?
So funny. And then you'd be out of the car with an insurance payout. We could go get you a 911. We'd be in Benidorm by next week.
I could make a great video that'd go viral. Boom. Yeah. Happy days. Yeah. Right.
It is making a noise, isn't it?
Come and have a look. What's going on here?
Well, I'll tell you what's happening here, Lee. There's some heat coming out of there. Feel that?
Jeez,
there is, isn't there? So that's making a noise.
There's a fan. Oh, it's here. Look, listen under the wheel.
Oh yeah.
That. Can you hear that? That's
yeah.
Fan.
Wow. Hey, you're about ready for a set of tyres, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That won't be cheap. I bet.
Thanks for that.
How much is a set of tyres for this car?
I don't know. Probably more than the car.
More than that car. And that's 150 mile an hour car as well, that is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's T5.
It's like the cops had.
I've not had 150 out of it.
Right, well, we need to go get to eat something, so...
Yeah, you're starving.
Just click your finger in front of the screen.
Click my finger in front of the screen?
Yeah,
what?
Just do like that.
Oh, like that?
A bit closer. Right, we're back. Okay, so to end this video and wind it up, right, I've basically put in, I've got about 60 or 80 miles range here, so less than, it's now got 250 miles of range.
Yeah.
It's fully charged.
Yeah.
And it's cost me 47 quid.
I think you added 170 miles.
Yeah.
170, add 80, carry the 1, divide by 3, add 3, cross out the thing, rub it out. I think 170 add 80 is 250. So you added 170 miles and it cost you £47.
That's expensive.
That is quite expensive.
Yeah, it is. So there you go. What have we learnt today? Again. We haven't really learned anything because we knew
learned anything because we knew before. Yeah, what we've learned today, we have learned that it's still expensive to run an electric car.
Yeah, and if you put 47 quid, head over to his channel because you're going to put 47 quid in your car.
I'm going to go do it now on the way home.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then on your channel, on your video,
I'll tell you how many miles I get for £47.
Which would probably be a lot more than
Is it more or less than 170 that you just put in this?
It's crazy, isn't it?
But the funny thing is as well, like on the way home, I've got a choice of 1, 2, 3 petrol stations, even between here and my house. So I can chop and change based on the prices of them.
Don't forget, by the way, I came down from the Lake District. That 47 quid wasn't the only charge I did. I charged at GridServe as well, where it errored in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't know the price of that because it errored. So I'm going to guess at 30 quid. So it's cost me quite a lot, really, to get down here.
It's quite an expensive way to run around, isn't it, in these electric cars?
Shocking.
Yeah.
There are pluses and minuses, but there's a lot more minuses.
A lot more minuses than pluses. But the evangelists will say, right?
I think you'll find.
I think you'll find you should have bought a Tesla. You should have planned your journey better, and you should have charged at home on the overnight tariff with Octopus Energy, where it's much cheaper between the hours of 3 AM and 3:10.
For now.
For now.
Yeah. There we
That's
go.
all they've got to say, isn't it? All they've got to say is you did it wrong.
I've got to get a charger at my new house.
Yeah.
Got to have one fitted, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's got to go in. There we go. On that bombshell, that extortionate cost, I'm gonna.
It's a good looking car though. That's all I got. It's a great looking car.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And
it's finished making noises from the front end now.
It has. Head over to his channel, by the way, because we've spoke about it. We're going to Benidorm, and
We are.
Yeah,
We are.
That's all I'm saying. The rest of it,
You know the Milan Viaduct, right?
don't
Absolutely
give them
beautiful.
too much. Just go out. Just go.
Not giving too much.
Yeah.
But we're going there.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be epic.
I mean, I'm going there. I know that I'm going there.
I'll get there. I'm in with a good chance. How many times have I said we've been here before?
The embarrassing thing is, right, that is a 2.3 turbo automatic old-fashioned car shaped like a brick.
Yeah.
I still reckon it would be cheaper if I drove that. And that is shocking that that's the state of affairs in 2024.
Shocking. That's where we are. How long do you think before we go, right? How long do you think it will be before I turn up at a public charging point and an evangelist? I met one today, but they were a nice couple, but a real evangelist. They owned an electric car. I wouldn't call them an evangelist.
I know what you're going to say, and I'm actually amazed it hasn't happened already.
Nobody's slapped me one.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, giving it you the big one verbally as they drive off. Because no one would actually, I don't think anyone would physically assault you. But what they'd do, they'd be charging their car over here, right? And they'd see you, and they'd be unplugging, and they'd be like, see you. And then as they drove off, they'd be like, "Oi, MacMaster, you bought the wrong car, and you don't plan your journey, and you need to charge at home on an octopus tariff between 2 and 3 in the morning." You
I did have one shout at me. I did have one shout. It's on camera.
yeah.
He shouted and stuck his middle finger up at me.
Yeah, but you're living it like real time, full time. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, the other guy, the journalist, right?
The washed up journalist that used to be on Top Gear back when it wasn't good.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's got an electric car, but it's not the only car he's got.
No.
This is my car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't worry, we'll sort you out with a proper car.
Right. See you later. Bye bye.